So one of the first repairs, I think I showed in one of the videos or whatever, but I don't think that came off in the wreck, but at some point, maybe hauling it back or whatever, but the button for the cruise control that on and off that frees this up is missing on my bike, or was. So eBay, this is off of one of the other BMWs. It's not an S1000RR. These buttons are different. Mine, it doesn't have this ABS switch or whatever, but it had this. So I ordered it, paid still paid $150 for it, but the replacement from the parts place for my original all new cost $500. So anyway, I was able to gently persuade this switch off, or that button off, after taking apart. So it's a couple of screws, and this comes off, and then another screw down in here that comes off. And anyway, I broke this one taking it off, but the other one, mine wasn't broke. And I replaced it on and just snapped it back onto mine. I put it back on the bike, and everything seems to work. So here's the switch assembly and grip back on the bike after replacing this button. You gotta get down. There's a clip, take that clip, couple of clips, and that piece will slide off. And there's a screw underneath, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a screw underneath this grip. Take it out, and this will all start sliding this way. A couple of wire looms that you have to couple of wire looms in here that you have to unplug. This whole grip and switch will come off together, and then there's a clip that you can pull this off of it. A couple more screws to split this, and then I just supported the piece that this clipped onto and just snapped it back on there, and then I'll put it back on there. So I need to put the bar end back on, but they wanted $600 for this assembly. BMW does at the parts places, and I fixed it. It's still too expensive for $150. Found one of these left switches off of another model BMW and just basically took this off of it. Works just fine. Howdy folks. Next part to put on. So this headlight stay. Crap, lost this. Broke this. So we got a new headlight stay here. I think that's what I'm calling a headlight stay. New one here. I think it's from China. $40 off eBay. Looks pretty good. An initial comparison says it's all right. So let's see if we can get them swapped out. So I didn't film a lot of this. It's just boring, but so it's basically take the new nose, 4 bolts with the bushing, transfer all the bushings over to it. This one actually came with new ones. I just used the old ones because I know they work. Still waiting on the one before I can go any further here, but pretty straightforward. I'll say with the Chinese, there's a warning label or something that goes right there that you lose with it. So no big deal to me. I didn't film putting it on, but just got done putting the nose on it. Pretty easy. There's 2 alignment pins that basically run down into a couple of holes down there. You can't miss them, and then 4 screws get it mounted up to it. Plugged in the headlights. Of course, I broke this headlight, and that's an aftermarket Chinese, and it works, but you get what you pay for. I tried to adjust the headlight, and I may wind up getting another one of those, but the adjustment, it doesn't adjust and very well, and then if it did, you reach in there and it'll just flop all over. It won't flop all over the place, but it doesn't stay there, so the headlight adjustment's bad. It's all over eBay, $120, $30 for the headlight, but it's junk. So I may wind up trying to get an OEM one at some point and put in there. Anyway, making progress. The nose is on there. That's the original plastic, obviously. I said that earlier. Oh, and don't forget, first time I put it on, there's this intake, there's a plastic piece that sandwiches between this and the frame to close up the intake tube. I forgot that first time I put it on, I had to take it off. So just little bits at a time in the evening after work. Tonight I buffed up the tank. I bought some touch-up paint, so right in here, that's where you spend some time in the gravel. And it went through the clear coat and through the red down to the primer, so you can see white spots. So I bought a touch-up pen and got it all red anyway, and sanded it with 1500 grit and just got it all red, and then buffed it all back out. So it beats painting the whole tank for now. But I might actually replace that lid. It's got that quick fill. It's got a few scratches in it, and that would, but you know, I'm not trying to hide that it's ever been crashed or anything. I'll probably keep the bike. But anyway, so this cover on, this piece on, these are the original fairings going on with the original hardware. Easy stuff. 3 screws. There's a little clip in here that snaps in. You can see it right there. But none of this stuff is, I mean, bent, so it's all going on perfect. It's going to be like having a different bike when I get done with it. It's been so long since I've seen it in this color scheme. More to come. Hey everyone, it's Roger again. Back to the bike. I just want to do a quick closure to this. I've got it back together, and I didn't record everything, but factory fairings back on it, and I'm just going to walk around it and show you a couple other things that I've found since I put it back together. But I took it for its maiden voyage today around the block. I'm going to ride it further, but I found a little more. But anyway, all back together. These are the original fairings that came on it. They were probably on it for 400 or 500 miles when I put Chinese fairings on it. I did find a couple things bent, so it's taken about a month to put it back together. And that's primarily just for the little odds and ends parts that came in, and just get them. I still got a few more coming. There were a couple parts that I got that I wasn't happy with, and then I found some more. But anyway, so the first thing is, and that's Chinese headlight in it. It won't adjust, it flops around, so it's junk. I've got to order a new OEM that's coming in. Had to replace, it's a new turn signal. Everything fit really well. Of course, you're still going to be able to tell that it's been crashed. You can see the scratches and stuff on the fairing or the frame, and then that puck, and I think you can. No biggie. Still looks pretty good. Kind of dark on this side, but I've forgotten how good it looked in the original fairings. The thing I found today is going around, just like I said, loaded or fired it up and just maiden voyage taking it around the block. And then I was going to go further, but it reminds me. I remember being a kid and wrecking motorcycles and dirt bikes and stuff when I was a kid, and it's primarily dirt bikes. Is you get, you know, you get comfortable with the way they feel, even if you had a set of bent handlebars. After a while, you'd get used to that, and then you'd buy you a new set of handlebars and put on it, and then it would feel funny when it was straight. But this riding it today, as soon as I got on it going around, I could tell that clip-on was bent, and I confirmed it today. I don't know how scientific it is, but took a tape measure, measured from there down to the ground on both sides, and this one's about an inch lower. So I've got to get a new clip-on, and then got other parts ordered. While I was finishing up, I kind of looked at this brake reservoir, and it just didn't look like it was straight. And you get in there, and I'm anal, but it would all been okay. That little plastic retaining clip there that's kind of broke, and tried to straighten it up and still didn't do it, and broke. So anyway, I've ordered a new reservoir, but the biggest thing was, can't even see it on this thing, but this hose is actually cut right here. So I've got a few more. Ordered a new brake reservoir, hose, and now I have to get a clip on. And the one other thing, I kept saying nothing was bent. When I went to put this lower fairing on, this main alignment bolt there, that bracket there, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit crooked going in, so it's bent a little bit. So I mean, you can still see some of the scratches, battle scars I'm going to call them, but going around the block it ran fine, just didn't feel right. Good looking bike. I've always liked the way this bike looks. Here's the stuff on the tank. You're always going to be able to tell it's been scratched up from that tank. I might at some point or another, but repaint that. I'm pretty good with paint, but I just taking it off and doing it. I'm not motivated. Maybe a winter project. Anyway, clip-on's the biggest thing, or I'd be riding it today. I'm going to call this the wrap-up of the motorcycle. I mean, nobody wants to see me. I mean, anybody can replace a clip-on. You just order it and slide it on there. So, there you go.